the #1 morning news program in Southern California. This is the KTLA Morning News.
Welcome back. We have more news on that royal issue in a few moments, but first, to his friends and neighbors, John Wayne Gacy was a model citizen and a spirited businessman. That was until a police investigation proved he was a serial killer responsible for the death of 33 teens. The investigation of Gacy's heinous crimes has become the subject of a two-part miniseries, To Catch a Killer. Beginning tonight on KTLA, actor Michael Riley, who plays Detective Joe Kozenczak, joins us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Now, this has been getting great reviews in the papers.
Good.
Yeah. Why do you think this story intrigues America so?
Well, I think the reasons that it intrigues America, hopefully, I mean, I think a lot of people will tune in for perhaps sensationalistic reasons, but the good thing about the show is that, you know, we had Judd Kinberg wrote a script that stayed away from anything remotely sensational, and Joe Kozenczak, I got to meet him for a few days, and he was around during the entire project, so having him as a resource kind of kept it, you know, from sort of heading anywhere else but being...
What struck you about Joe? Now, Joe was the man in charge of the investigation, sort of fell into his lap.
Yeah. He's really an amazing man. He's very committed to what he does, and you know, the main thing from meeting him that I got was that, you know, at a time when I think you know, police work in general is kind of having a spotlight shone at it, it's interesting to, it's disheartening for me to know after meeting him that there are plenty of men like Joe who, you know, are dedicated and committed to, you know, to what can be and is a noble profession, and he's really, he was remarkable. I spent 3 or 4 days with him because I had a very short preparation time. And he was very gracious, and as you say, because you talked to him, he's very committed, he's very quiet and intense, and you know, if that whole thing was going to fall into anyone's lap, it would be Joe that could handle it.
So you play Joe, and Brian Dennehy plays John Wayne Gacy. We have a clip, so let's take a look at that clip.
I know where we can find some real handcuffs, boys and girls. Wait right here. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We're gonna come over here and get some real handcuffs. Here they are, right over here.
He says you want to talk to me?
What the hell's going on with my vehicles? I need them for my business.
You get them back when the investigation is over.
Oh, really? Well, the investigation is over. I'm suing you and your hick department for $1 million. How do you like them apples, dummy?
Don't you have nightmares? Horrible nightmares, Mr. Gacy. I do.
Oh, Mr. Policeman. Don't you know a clown can get away with murder? Huh? Look, boys and girls. Handcuffs.
Pretty intense. Kind of get a creepy feeling.
Yeah, it was a creepy feeling. That was the strange thing about the project, is that we had, you know, at the same time, all the criteria were in place for a great acting project. We had a good director and a good script and so forth, but there was also a kind of dark tinge to the whole thing. You know, you couldn't spend a lot of time on that set without feeling that.
Now, John Wayne Gacy obviously is aware of this picture?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear too much of the specifics, but I knew that after spending time with Joe, he was aware of the production and was in communication with the office during the time we were shooting. And, you know, talking to Joe a little bit about it, I think John Wayne Gacy is kind of reaching the end of his process. He's on death row in Illinois. And obviously this is not going to be, you know, it's going to exacerbate things as far as he's concerned, so.
Well, Michael Riley, we're looking forward to seeing you tonight here on Channel 5 on this show. But before we finish up, I want to play a little bit of that Joe Kozenczak interview that I did with him. And earlier I did have a chance to talk with him. He's the real detective whom Michael Riley plays in the movie. Let's listen to what he had to say about this picture. You had early intuitions that something was very different about this case.
It was very significant in the fact that the profile of the young man that was missing, that started this case, was within the scope of a teenager in our community that never been in trouble, never was involved in drug use, and was just somebody who essentially paralleled my son, who was the same age as this missing boy. And they both attended the same high school, and it was kind of a catalyst.
I recall reporting it a number of times throughout the course of the events. there was such shock of what was going on. Do you get the sense of shock when you watch To Catch a Killer? When you watch the movie, did you get that sense?
To Catch a Killer is unique. It's a compelling story that deals with a very shocking topic, but in a very subtle manner. You can have a teenager, you can have a child watch this movie to give them an insight into the fact that there are people like a John Wayne Gacy out on the streets, but not to create a paranoia and not to create terror in the young person's mind. So To Catch a Killer is unique. Brian Dennehy did an outstanding job portraying John Wayne Gacy, and I believe that anybody in the community or in our society can watch this miniseries and come away with a message and not be terrified by the movie.
Detective Joe Kozenczak and the man who plays him right here, Michael Riley. Thanks again for being with us.
Thank you.
You can get a sense of the intensity.
Yeah.
It's called To Catch a Killer. That's tonight at 8 o'clock on KTLA, tonight and tomorrow night. Back with more in just a moment.